welcome to another pen video from me, Penultimate Dave. So I have here another pen for review, and this is a pen that I wanted for a long time. And this is a pen that I don't have in my collection. And I'm sure this is a pen that I would love to have in my collection. This is the Visconti Homo Sapiens Ember. Now, this is made of carbon fibre. There is a newer version of this, and it's called the Carbon Noir, which I also like as well. I think I prefer the Ember slightly more than the Carbon Noir. The Carbon Noir is a lot more difficult to make. It's also a lot more expensive, almost double the price of the Ember. But this is the Ember, and I really have to say I love this pen. It's a pen that I wanted to pick up quite a few times. And this is a pen on loan to me from John at stjohnspens.com. So I'd like to thank John for the loan of this pen for review. It is as bulk standard Homo Sapiens. You cannot honestly go wrong with the size and shape of this pen. It really is quite beautiful. You do have a bronze clip here. Now, most Homo Sapiens will be a lava resin mix. This, you've got carbon fibre. So you can see here just how that looks. It really is an interesting pattern. I do like the look of this. However, I do remember saying to friends, and I think I may have mentioned it in a video, that you can see where this carbon fibre, it's a wrap, and you can see where it kind of lines up here. There is a distinct line here that goes through, and if I line it up on the cap here as well, you can see that distinct line because it is a wrap. At some point, the two ends have to meet on a piece of paper. And essentially, that's what's happening here. It's a wrap going around that body, around the cap. So, unfortunately, you are going to see a seam or a line. And I remember that's what put me off this pen for a long time. I think it was silly, honestly, because I really like this pen. It is a PowerVac pen. It's a magnetic closure. It's not a hook safe lock. But I love this pattern. I like also there's a slight concaveness, maybe not quite. It's more of a taper down, slight flare up towards the end here. You've got a ring here as well, and then you have an 18 karat gold. And I want to have a shiver here because it's got an extra fine nib. And if you know me, I don't do extra fine nibs. Now, can I post that cap? I can do. It's not going to post deeply. It is secure though. It does feel a little bit back weighted. But I want to say that most of that is in that body there. The sheer amount of carbon fibre. Although carbon fibre typically is light. But I think it's got the PowerVac mechanism in here. So if I do try to pull this out, you'll notice there you've got all of the weight of that mechanism at the back end of the pen. So it is going to feel a little bit weighty. But it's a pen that I like the look of, and I do like the shape and size of. So I think with that, let's do a size check, we'll do a weight check, we'll do a pen comparison, and then we'll do a writing sample. So, the full length of the pen, we are looking at about 145 millimeters in length. The length of the cap, we're looking about 58 millimeters in length. And if I just remove the cap there, and I'm going to try and stop it from spinning, the full length of the body, we are looking at about 132 millimeters in length, which typically is the size of a Homo Sapiens Visconti, and I like that size. It's a perfect weight, it's a perfect size, and it's a perfect fit in my hand. So I think with that, let's do a weight check. So the full weight of the pen inked up, or uninked actually, because it's not inked at the moment, we're looking at just under 49 grams in weight. The weight of the cap, we're looking at just a smidgen over 16.5 grams. And then the weight of the body, we are looking at just over 32 grams. So, like I said, it's actually quite a weighty pen. It's not the heaviest pen in my collection, but it's still quite a weighty pen. So I think with that, let's do a comparison with other pens. So from left to right, we have a Conway Stewart Chatworth. We have an Anoto University of Oxford Vermeil. We have a Visconti Opera Master Savannah, a Visconti Opera Master Tobacco, a Visconti Homo Sapiens, and this is the Ember. We have a Montegrappa Game of Thrones Winter is Here. We have a Visconti Leonardo da Vinci Machina, a Visconti Opera Master Antarctica. We have a Visconti Last Templar Jacques de Molay, and a Mont Blanc Writer's Edition Jane Austen. So I think with that, let's now go and do a writing sample. So this is the Visconti Homo Sapiens, and this is the Ember, and I feel a really cold shift coming along. This is an extra fine nib there. It is the 18 karat gold nib from Visconti, the newer in-house nib. In terms of ink, we are looking at Diamine Earl Grey. Now, in terms of line variation, you are definitely getting an extra fine nib here. I can push it definitely to a fine, almost to a medium. But you can see here these figure of eight. Now I'm not going to push this nib. It is an extra fine nib, but you can see there's no hard starts or skips on those vertical lines. In terms of ink wetness, let's take a look. Visconti nibs typically are quite wet. Yeah, you're definitely seeing wetness there. It's a little bit drier on the cross strokes than it is on the down strokes. This is an extra fine nib, so I'm not expecting it to be fire hose, but it's still a pretty wet nib here. Now, I'm not normally into extra fine nibs, and there's a reason. I typically find that they are scratchy, misaligned, feedbacky. Like you can think of all of those names under the sun. I just don't enjoy extra fine nibs. This nib, however, I would say is, and I've tried a lot of extra fine nibs, but this nib is definitely the best extra fine nib that I think I have ever written with. And I know I might be considered a Visconti fanboy. I have over 70 Viscontis in my collection, but this nib really does write well. What do I like? What do I not like about the pen? Well, it's a Visconti. It's a Homo Sapiens. Like, that ticks all the boxes for me. It's a power vac filling mechanism as well. It's got an 18 karat gold nib, albeit the newer nib from Visconti. I like the shape, I like the size, I like the weight of this pen. And I do say I like that writing experience. What do I dislike about the pen? Well, I said that I like that writing experience. I'd honestly like it more if it was a medium nib or a fine nib. But this pen is on loan to me from John at St. John's Pens, so from that perspective, I didn't get to choose the nib, but I'm glad that I was able to review this pen for John. If this pen will be going back to John, so if you want to check John out, you can check this pen out on his website at stjohnspens.com, and likewise St John's Pen on Instagram as well. And if you want to check him out, you can also check him out at various pen shows as well. So there you have it. That's my review of the Visconti Homo Sapiens Ember. Thanks for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next pen video. Bye-bye.